My dreams come true.
2025. So the dog I had for 15 and a half years passed away. I still have another dog, but I'm losing her to divorce because I'm getting divorced. At the same time, in February, my father in one day fell and they found a tumor on his spine. He got cancer, paralyzed.
Jesus Christ.
So he just passed like 2 weeks ago. But I was back in Pittsburgh helping my mom doing everything.
Wow.
So, and I'm sleeping on Fraser's floor when I'm in LA because I don't have a house because I'm getting divorced. So I've literally been living out of the same suitcase.
Floor of KLOS.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, Fraser's a nice place over in Sherman Oaks.
That's where I grew up. I know the area.
Yeah. It's close enough. It's nice.
No, for sure. That's close, and definitely you can make it around the city. And
right.
also a wild way to start what we're doing. But I don't know. Maybe we
There's
keep
a loaded
that
question. Where you at now? Yeah. It's for the last like 4 months, people are like, oh, where you living? It's like that's the $1 million question.
So you have you gone anywhere outside of LA, or you're just kind of between Fraser's or wherever?
Well, my parents' house in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But also, I'll do my weekend in Florida, I'll do my weekend in Chicago, my weekend in Jersey. So I'm just doing the road out
it's
of
like
Pittsburgh.
adjacent out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then come in here like once a month to kind of see my daughter who's 21 and she's just home for the summer from Berkeley. So, but doing improv and and doing all the keep my foot in the water.
That's cool,
as they say, and getting some bigger gigs, in the outskirts, and around here. So it's kind of paying for the flights and everything,
Okay, well that's a hell of an introduction for Joe Bartnick. My buddy Joe, comedian, hilarious dude, sock wearer, and different things that we've yapped about now.
Yeah.
Welcome back, though. We're here for Unlicensed Advice.
There we go.
And today we're going to be giving advice. Joe, that's what we do. We're going to pull out some questions. We're going to read them. And we're going to try to give, we can give genuine advice as well.
Right.
And if there's some funny stuff to yap about, we will just be like, oh, this is a thing. This is a choice you made, and we might riff on it as comics. So there's that.
What's really funny, JD, is I give really good advice for other people's lives, even though I'm an absolute train wreck. If I would only follow my own advice, maybe I wouldn't be living in a suitcase somewhere.
That's
I don't even have an address. What's your address? Like, I don't know.
My dog. My dog is my address. That's the curse of an artist. I feel like, but I don't know. Some people idolize that, though. That's a fascinating thing, because their lives are too structured.
Well, that's what my girlfriend said. One of my best friends in the world. I've known him for 35 years. She's like, Andy looks at you in amazement. I'm like, that guy owns a company that employs 60 people. Like, I can barely pay my rent. I'm like, hoping Spotify pays my rent.
Isn't it crazy to chase your dreams? I only say that because someone asked me that recently, where they were like, what's a piece of advice you would give as someone who's creative or to the next generation of creatives? And I was like, listen, if you want to play the lottery with your existence, then be an artist or be whatever. Go, take your chances, whatever it is, entertainment industry, music, this, that, and the third, because you might never make it.
Right.
But you are chasing something, and who knows if your lucky ticket will be pulled. And also, get ready to live in the zeitgeist of rejection, because that's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. Our job is to be rejected all the time. Like, put ourselves out there, be rejected, whether it's with auditions or stand-up or, mostly with stand-up, it's like, if we know we're funny, we'll do well.
Right.
But still, we do still need to get the gauge of the crowd.
Well, you're a great stand-up. Isn't that like the funnest thing is when you realize you're good at it? It takes a while.
Yeah,
But then when you're happy with your stand-up, you're like, wow, this is fantastic. You just love being on stage. You don't worry. Like, I never worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, watch me eat a dick tonight. But you know what I mean? It's like, I just don't worry about who I have to follow, what's this. The worst thing you got to worry about now is like ticket sales.
No, for sure.
And I love never getting a phone call.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you hear? No. Never getting a phone call is the best. The worst is when they call you. Hey, can you have Burr retweet that post?
Tickets are tight tonight.
Yeah.
The Thursday's looking loose, tight. Yeah, no,
but as long as
sure.
there's people there, I'm always going to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get into these questions.
But speaking of advice, though, what I think is funny, I remember one acting class I took, and the lady goes, "If there's anything you can do besides acting, do it." And I'm like, I always think about that
Yeah.
with stand-up. When you see people like, wait, what should I do? It's like, dude, you're like a lawyer. Unless you're Greg Giraldo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, go live a life.
No, yeah. Well, I don't know. I agree with that. It's funny you mentioned that because your acting coach said if you can do anything but acting. But I think that's to have stability, I would assume.
I think it wasn't acting. It was one of those things where you go and there's like 30 people there. It wasn't my acting coach.
Or acting class or something.
Yeah, it was an acting class. And I'm like, I just said, because they go around like, what do you like about acting? And there's all these people like, these like, these Shakespearean answers. And I'm like, I like the food and the money.
Yeah, be real about it. I like getting paid. Yeah. I like seeing my face and feeling my face.
Yeah.
Like,
I like craft services.
Oh, Crafty's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best.
Crafty will keep you full for years, or at least it feels like it.
I know, and I always tell the team, like, don't let me eat Doritos until the last day.
I tell them,
I'll go, I can't, it's like a crack to me.
I tell them, don't throw the food out until I get 4 to-go boxes, because they're just dumping food, and I'm like, whoa, if I'm doing well enough where I have a trailer and there's a fridge, I'm putting it in there,
right?
And that's lunch, dinner, maybe Tuesday and Thursdays. So I don't know.
I know, like I'll be on set early.
Yeah,
when breakfast is coming.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with breakfast, though. I only say that because
you eat too much.
Nah, you'll eat the wrong thing, and then it's like, I gotta use the bathroom, and it's like, hey, we're on take 1. What's happening? It's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You guys made chilaquiles. So you're mad at me?
Yes. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That happens.
Yes.
Or just don't add too much tapatio. That's I learned that the hard way. All right. So we got our first question. Do you want to do the honors? Do you want to?
Oh, I'd have to put my glasses on.
Oh, I'll read it for you. I'll read it for you.
Are they on fortune cookies? What?
Yeah. We got these from Chinatown. No, I'm playing.
Right.
No. We have
It's
to print out.
You could have been a jet pilot if you could read that.
Listen. I'll read it. Let's get your advice on it first. All right, here we go. So this first one says, 2 of my roommates are passive aggressively arguing with each other and refuse to talk about it! ! It's driving me insane! ! And that's it. That's all they said. What would you? Well, hey, I assume you've had roommates.
I'm not even kidding. I've probably had 60 to 80 roommates.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Because I've lived everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what you got to do? You can see I'm Italian. You got to have a sit down. And that's it. You just go, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this. I'm a direct person. I can't. It's one of the things my new girlfriend loves on me is I don't play any mind games. Just get it out in the open. And that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have you ever had a scenario? Because this person seems like a third wheel in a 3 roommate situation.
Yeah, you better be on the lease if you're calling to sit down.
That's true, right?
They don't need you.
Or have the biggest portion of the rent. Like, hey. Yeah. Have you had multiple roommates where it's like, do you know how many you've had at one time? Like, I'm thinking I've only ever done like me and one other person. I don't think I've done. Or maybe I've done me and then maybe 3 other roommates in like college. I've done that.
Okay, well, college definitely 4 or 5. I'd say 6 or 7 at times.
That happens. I know comics get together and sometimes they'll rent like a bigger place or a place that all of them can afford to.
Oh yeah, like there's no living room.
Yeah,
the living room and the dining room's a 2 bedroom.
It's all our room. It's all our room.
That's 2 bedrooms. Someone's sleeping in the living room, someone's sleeping in the dining room.
Yeah. And they split it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think 6, 7 might have been the most.
Have you, in a situation like that, did you ever did you have to do a sit down, or was it like, you know what, I'm just going to let them fight amongst themselves and someone's going to be out of here and now I'll have the living room?
Well, when there's that many, they kind of fight among them. You just have pockets of friends, and some people just stay away from each other. And I've never really had out and out arguments, even in passive aggressive. Other than like, someone's washing the dishes and somebody's not. I mean, that's kind of like, is that the arguments, or is it just really there's tension? 1,000%, because that's what you can't have. If it's just a little nickel dime stuff, that guy can just rise above it and ignore it.
This is true.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how you got to live your life.
Yeah. What's the worst thing you've ever had a roommate either do to you or done to a roommate?
Well, I'll tell you, my first roommate ever in my life was a guy who was smart. It was at University of Pittsburgh, and he was like so smart. He was Mensa. They used to be at the top of the Tower of Learning. And he kept his grandmother's gallbladder in a jar. And he used to read the dictionary for fun. He never left the room. And Tower A at Pitt is like half the size of the studio.
Mm.
And I'd be out partying, and my girlfriends from high school and stuff from around the area would call up, and he would tell them who I was banging outside where it wasn't them.
That's shitty. That's shitty and also jealous. It's almost jealousy.
So I literally put a sheet up across the room that was like this big, so he couldn't see what I was doing, even though he could probably hear.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And then he moved out. I didn't hit him or nothing. And people are like, "You didn't." I'm like, "No, he's just a little kid."
No.
Yeah, but then I got a new roommate who's actually the guy who owns a 60-employee company now. he goes, my friend's like, how'd you meet him? He goes, I walked into our little room in Tara, and he's sitting there in his underwear cranking AC/DC. He goes, how are you, dude?
That's funny.
Yeah.
He might owe you a room at this point.
Well, what's so funny was, because I remember my dad and my cousin Butch moved me in during halftime of a Steelers preseason game. My cousin Butch looked at me and goes, good luck with that guy, and left.
That's funny.
So all the other stuff, I don't know. I've had just so many crazy, comic roommates and adult roommates.
True.
And just,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was sleeping, I was kind of not house sitting. I was kind of on the run in Florida, and I had a guy pull a gun on. We were playing euchre. Anyone know euchre? Yeah, euchre. It's a Midwest Pittsburgh. It's spades, hearts, in the same family. Okay. And the guy pulled a gun on his brother-in-law, who was his partner, playing a euchre game, and we had to leave. So I was sleeping. People were like, for the next month, like, where are you staying?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like I said, you can get over like no one's doing the dishes. If you guys pulling guns, then you have. But in general, my advice is have a sit down. Just say, hey, what's with you two?
Yeah. Get
to the bottom. We're here. We're all here. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah. This person's crying about passive aggressive behavior. You've survived almost murderous roommates.
Yeah. If no one's throwing hands, what's the problem?
Yeah. No, for sure. I don't think I've ever had an issue with a roommate. I mean, the most probably passive aggressive thing is like someone eating my food and then me eating their food. And then being like, well, where did the food go? Like type stuff. Or someone didn't do their dishes. But
right.
No, but you know what? I'm very much a person who, if I can live on my own, I would, like, as often as possible.
Right.
I just feel like, I don't know, that was just like you
don't get bored. I
had like a dog. I mean, I'm married now, so I've had a roommate for 8 years.
Yeah.
So like, we chilling, but
right.
But I think it's just one of them things where it's like the first 8 years of my life, I was like an only child, and then my parents had a kid, had a brother, and then it was just like one of those things where I remember when I was younger, my brother's room used to be through my room. Like there was a smaller room attached to the room I was in.
Right.
So to get to his room, he would always walk through my room. So there was no privacy.
Oh, yeah.
But I think at a certain point, like the moment I got to college, I was like, oh yeah, I'm out. Like,
right.
Let me hopefully figure out, let's get college, let's get an apartment, let's have our own personal space. And if I needed I did have a few roommates in college and a little bit after, but yeah, the moment I was like, oh, I can just be on my own, I was chilling. I don't know. I like the peace and quiet of all that, I guess. And it's like if I want to spend time with people, I'll be like, hey, what are y'all doing tonight? Come over to my spot.
Yeah.
Because I might be the only one who has a spot that's vacant where we can actually have our own personal space.
Maybe because I was married for so long, I don't remember what it was like not to have somebody. And because, I had the last bit was it was just like having just an ominous evil person. Not evil inherently, but just like bad vibe coming, like hitting me. And I lost both my dogs, or I lost my dog, one to death and then one to divorce now, so I'm dogless. That's all I once a dog.
What kind of dogs were they, or are they?
Oh, she was a 17, or she has 9 different types of. No, she was 7 different types of things. The mayor, the mayor was the best. I'll show you a picture. This is a great podcast.
This is the one that passed away.
Yeah, it's the one that passed away. Well, I can get you both of them because they're both they're like that. The only time in all the stuff that I went nuts on was I've always my dad, everything. You know how your phone makes little things, makes
it'll make it knows exactly when to make memories.
It said it goes best friends, and it showed like 2 dogs like hugging each other and kissing each other. I'm on a plane crying like
it just starts playing. You got a friend in me,
like
and you're
crazy,
like no,
like a crazy person. So let's I get them together maybe. Okay, so there's just both of them right there.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, the big Rose and Ruby.
Oh,
so there's
Aw, and they're
So,
friends.
so the little one, the little one's was 15 and a half, and then Rose, her bodyguard, is 6.
Aw,
So Miss
that's
Big
cute.
Rose.
I have a trauma dog story, but but it's like shitty because it like shits on my family. But no, I left my dog of like 7. Well, it was I had a dog when I was a kid. That dog passed away of like tumor or cancer or something, but that was sad too. But the dog that I was taking care of in the last, like, I would say decade, like my late teens to, or all of my 20s, I took care of my brother's dog, his dog from childhood. And then when he went to college, I was like, who's going to watch the dog? And he was like, Mom and Dad will do it. I was like, Dad hates the fucking dog. Dad hates dogs, period. He had like a bad incident with dogs back in Detroit. He's not fucking with that dog.
Right.
And Mom is kind of like aloof. She's not going to pay attention to the dog. Right. And then I ended up taking care of the dog throughout my 20s. And there would be times where it's like I leave him at my parents' house if I had to go out of town, or leave him at like a kennel. And unfortunately, the last time I left him with my parents, or left him with my family, my mom and my brother, a friend of theirs ran the dog over in our like yard, because we have like a big driveway that you like drive onto. The property sounds huge, but it's not as big as you think. But you can drive in and then you come out, and then there's like an exit gate. So there's like an in gate and an out gate. I don't know who the fuck this weirdo friend of my mom was, and it just pissed me the fuck off. But they, I guess, were going fast enough into the gate to not pay attention to the dog being in the yard, because the dog usually is like in the yard in the afternoon. And then I guess ran over the dog. Oh. And I think his like probably neck collapsed under a tire, and then I think his collar, I think, got stuck and fucking bled out. Oh. I don't get all that information. I'm just imagining what happened, because I can't wrap my head around why an idiot is driving that fast through this small area where cars are supposed to just like, you should be going maybe 2 miles an hour.
Right, it's a driveway.
Yeah.
So, how do you not see a dog?
But also just I'm looking at my family, because I told them don't leave the dog outside alone. He's older. He gets out through the fence and like digs little holes and goes through the neighborhood sometimes. This has happened like more than once or twice. I'm pissed. I'm like, this is shitty. It also happened like a day before my wedding anniversary. So it's like now I'm always reminded of it. And
I'm sorry to bring up trauma.
No, it's okay.
We need advice.
No, it's okay. It's okay, because it gets funny, because I've done these shows at this dog shelter in Culver City called Annenberg's Pet Space.
Right.
Where I forget my friend's name, but they have this show called Can't Even Comedy. And the last one I did, I told this story, and I mentioned that, like, yeah, my mom left the dog outside, and the dog was killed. And everyone in the crowd, they have dogs in the crowd while we're there. There's just a bunch of old like white women and young people, and some families, and marriage couples, and they're like, huge gasp. Everyone gasps, and the first response from this one older white woman is like, kill your mom. I was like, yo, what? And I was like, nah. I was like, I love my dog, but I'm not going to fucking jail for this shit. Like, that was wild to me, though. R.I.P. Kobe, that's his name.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was cute. And I think I was, obviously frustrated, because I put so much time and effort into like keeping him healthy and keeping him active. And it's not like, and I think, not to shit on my mom, but she kind of like gaslit me under the guise of like, the dog was old. It's like, bitch, no, you're old. Fuck that. What are we talking about? Because she tried to make it seem like the dog was old and like it was gonna die anyway type of behavior. I was like, let's not get into that. I was like, should I treat you that way too? Because everybody getting old.
Right. No, that's
But yeah, that lady yelling out, kill your mom, that was so fucking funny. Like, and I have that clip. Like, I gotta edit it one day when me and my mom are on good terms. But
and how much, and did you put money, because I know Ruby, she was paralyzed at one time, and that cost me like $11,000. Then she had stones one time, that cost me like $4,000. I used to say in my act, she's the most expensive thing in my house.
Yeah. I mean, as they get older, yeah, and it's sad, because like that they can't help it, and then even the vet's like, you gotta treat them nice, they're getting old,
Right.
Or I think I met a lady when I was on a walk, and she mentioned that to me, but he. The only thing that he had is he couldn't really control his bladder as much anymore. So he was just getting to that age where we were putting like dog diapers on him. Like I told him, I was like, guys, if you have him in the house, you might want to just be cautious, because he'll just start peeing out of nowhere sometimes. Even if you took him for a pee, or maybe it's just bad training. It could be that too.
Right.
But he didn't have too many ailments, and it was like, It was he was a pretty healthy dog, you know,
They just
for as old as he was.
They just tug on your soul because I used to do like a loop with the old dog, then a big loop in the mountains with Rose, and then they go on like a cardiac walk straight up the hill. Which neither dog wanted to take. Rose would fight me in the street. I'm like, I can't be fighting like abusing my dog because you refuse to walk up a hill.
Yeah.
So I just stopped taking her. But then sometimes I just like, oh, I gotta hurry up today. And I was trying to sneak out with Rose, and then Ruby just be at the front door like. Okay. Aww. Now I gotta take a half hour and go get a biscuit. All right.
Dogs are beautiful.
Yeah, they're the best.
We should go half on a dog one day.
We should.
All right, here we go. We got another one. This one says, I've been texting this guy for a few months, and finally we went on a date. And I finally went on a date with him in person. His voice is really high pitched, and I don't want a second date, but I don't know how to let him down gently. That's silly. I got a friend who has a high pitched voice. He's getting married soon, so good luck. Best of luck to his wife. But
maybe she has hearing problems.
Well, it's funny. He's like a bigger dude, but he's like, "Yeah, what's up, y'all?" Like that's just a.
It's like he just sucked on a balloon.
That I don't know what it is. It's just his voice, and it's just a very fun way to make fun of him. Like not to shit on him, but it's just funny. But I don't know, high pitched voice, and you don't want to be with him anymore. I feel like you gotta go deep voice and call him. Hey, little man, I'm not into this shit anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Once again, just say, hey.
Sit down.
Yeah. Well, just not even say that. You can just text back like, hey, you're a nice guy, but I'm seeing somebody else right now.
There you go. Just lie. Just lie. Just lie.
Well, I mean, you say, you're a nice guy, but I wish your text was a high pitch so I knew you sounded like you did. I mean, maybe that's why he always texted her, didn't call her.
Maybe. There's that. I'm trying to think if there's ever been a situation where somebody has like a quirk and I'm like, oh, that's a lot, or that's weird. But I don't know. Something you can't control, like a
Men
voice.
Men never feel that way, because can we swear?
You can.
If you're gonna get pussy, you don't really care what she sounds like.
Most men feel this way. Not gonna lie.
Just what she looks like, not what she sounds like. You can because after like 2 months, you block out what they say anyway.
We've turned into a red pill podcast. Unfortunately, you're not wrong in the sense that a lot of men, I think, are taught and feel that way at a young age. Because I remember I saw a guy who kind of broke it down, where he said, like, you don't really consider that age of growth between middle school to the end of high school, where unfortunately it's like you become indoctrinated to become very misogynistic, in the sense of you're in high school, and like the only thing that people are really talking about, the guys are like, oh, have you had sex yet? Have you had sex yet? Have you had sex yet? So I'm just saying this from a person who doesn't feel this way anymore, but it did when he was younger, because it was just one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, relationships with women weren't a thing. It was more like they're an item, not necessarily treat them like an item, more like I don't have a personal bond with any women outside of like my mom and sisters.
Right.
And I remember when I met my wife, that was something that was appealing to me. I was like, oh, I like to talk to you. I'm not just thinking about you physically. But most men, it's right to that.
Well, that's how, I mean, I try to be with all girls, is I like to talk, like, I always gonna laugh, like I'm a misogynist, but I'm pro broads.
That's crazy. Pro broads. Pro broads.
Yeah.
Hey. No,
like,
I mean,
I'm for all their rights and everything. Like, I really am. I treat women like they're on pedestals. Like I'm from the 50s.
No, of course. Yeah.
Like we got into a thing, and if she's going to watch this, she's going to have a fit. I was taking my girlfriend on Broadway, and I'm like, you got to wear. And I'm meeting my friends. We got to wear a dress. She had a pantsuit. I'm like, what are you Murphy Brown?
Was she also from the 50s, or was she?
No, she's younger than me.
Okay,
I mean, not Belichick younger than me.
No.
But younger.
I just saw a video about the Belichick shit. That was crazy. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Like, I'm just old school that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm like everything for me is from Kojak from 1973.
That's funny. I feel that. I feel like this for like, because I'm trying to think if I ever met a girl back in the day who had like a weird voice. I think if anything, as a comic, I might just make jokes about it. I might not hold it against her if I like her and I'm into her personality and into who she is. But I probably would make fun. Like there's some people out there in the world who like, shit. I'm just thinking about like what, like a person like Lil Yachty has a crazy voice. That's a rapper. But also there's a guy on the who used to play for the Celtics. He was number 2 drafted with John Wall. I forgot his name. I forgot where he came from. But his voice is fucking. It's the worst voice ever. He'll sound like a toad or like something. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, like that's what's happening." He'll be on podcasts.
Sound like he's one of the Cosby kids.
Dude, he'll be
Fat Albert.
Okay, yeah. But I'm like, you can't do podcasts. You got to go fix that shit. That shit sounds crazy.
Now they can voice modify it.
Yeah,
I think of like 15 things when you're talking. There's so much to say. Well, with the girl though, it's like it's better to just be honest and say, hey, it's just not. It's just no guy wants to be strung along. No, that's just you don't have to lie.
No girl either.
Hey, you're not for me. Yeah. And the other thing though is like it might be good. If the voice might just be annoying now, and you can go hang out and have a good time. Just maybe not someone you want to marry. Then you're stuck with that voice.
Yeah. Then you got to hear it every day.
Right. Now your wife, like you said, you'd make fun of a chick you were dating. Is everything on the table? Do you make fun of your wife in your act?
I make fun of our marriage and or things that she might do, but it's not like I don't make fun directly of her, and I don't it's not in a way where I'm like disrespecting her. It's like I make fun of I think the funny things that have happened to us in our marriage or some of her quirks for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But I know it's one of those things where it's like I won't use like derogatory terms about her if I don't genuinely feel that way. Because I remember one time when I first was starting out, I think I said a bit where I think in the bit I called her the B word or bitch or whatever, and she was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I gotta laugh, and I was like, it's not about you, like the word was the shock value of it,
right? And
I think like for me, she didn't love it, and she was just like she hit me with the, I mean, if you need to say that to be funny, and I was like, you know what, a fucking beautiful lady, I'm not. You're right. I could make this without doing that, without saying that.
Yeah,
so.
No, that's always a cold one. Oh, you got to do that. Yeah, because with my marriage, everything was out there, and now my new girlfriend, she's like, I didn't know everything. Like, yeah, you're dating me. Like it's all on the table.
Yeah,
that's what we talk. I mean,
I mean, there are a lot of comics that I've seen who are like, yeah, no, I don't talk about my wife or marriage.
That's because they're trying to get laid on the road.
Oh, that's crazy. I haven't heard that. I've heard people saying they want to keep the peace from some comics. And or it's just like they don't like talking about the personal stuff. They might be more observational. They might just want to make jokes about silly stuff.
Right.
That's a thing. All right, what do we got? I found out that my older brother is cheating on his girlfriend. She's an amazing girl, so I want to tell her, but I'm worried my brother and family might hate me for it. I mean,
mind your own business.
That's that
That's an easy one. Next.
Most that's the 50s, but like fucking somebody put like a super of like the 50s right over his face. Yeah. I the pre-therapy version of me would agree with you. I think it's shitty for that girl. But yeah, you're gonna like literally set off a bomb in your family if you do that.
It's your
for
family.
Sure. Because also it is like that is their personal business. But I mean, no, I think as a decent human being, my brain would be like, I don't know. I probably would tell her.
You can really,
but you know why? I think it's because I don't give a fuck what my family thinks.
Right.
And also I've confronted my own family about their bad behavior. So it's just one of those things where my family's not perfect like anyone else's,
right?
But yeah, I think it's like more or less that sweeping shit under the rug never makes it better. It's just like, oh, this will just blow up later anyway, and now you're gonna ruin someone else's life who's been dragged into our like ecosystem.
Well, I think confronting your brother,
I think telling him is more important.
Can be done.
Yeah, I think that's a more important way to go about it.
Going against the family,
going behind his back to do it, I don't think should be the first choice unless you've already had that conversation. Like, hey man, don't do that. That's shitty.
Break up with her if you're.
Yeah, you're being a scummy person.
Right.
But then if they're a scummy person, then they're like, mind your fucking business. Then I don't know.
Like he just called me a scummy person.
No, I'm saying because like. I only say that because like sometimes you might just want to mind your business. You might be like, well, that's really sad to see.
Right.
And maybe if you want to be like, I don't know what do they call it, a hero, white knight or something, you could maybe send this girl a DM from a alt account or like a account that's not yours and be like, you should really look into the guy you're dating.
Yeah.
And then that way you're kind of neutral, but you're also avoidant, I guess. I don't know.
I know. I'm tight with my sister. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Did you see the viral thing of the CEO
Yeah.
hugging up on the dude? Hugging up on
he
the
went to
chick,
Coldplay.
whatever the
He went
Coldplay
to
concert
and he told
viral
his
thing.
wife he was at a different concert.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that.
As someone who's
let's say
who's
that's
not been
like
faithful on his wife, that's just a bad. You can't lie like that.
right. True.
You have to be closer to the truth than that.
No, for sure.
You have to say you're at a Coldplay concert. She's my friend. Like I'm going to the Coldplay. But
The way he ducked and hide, I was like, bro, there's this camera still there. But no, I guess in that scenario, like, what if that was your sister getting cheated on? You know, that would be shitty.
Right. See,
That's not the same. I don't think that's from the same perspective. But
no, if it was my sister, I would maybe tell my brother-in-law, "Hey, I know what's going on."
right. There you go. Something like that. Yeah.
See, I think you have to confront the person who's doing the cheating and not just blindside the victim.
Yeah, well, I know for sure. I mean, because this says I found out older brother. She's amazing, so I want to tell her. Also, the she's amazing sounds like you're into her. That's just me hearing that.
Well,
but then again, maybe it's just like maybe she is just amazing, and maybe I'm just a horny boy right now. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Or maybe they were friends before her.
There's
like,
that.
Their girlfriends. Or
yeah,
whatever.
or like maybe he introduced her to his brother, like, yo, he'd be great for you, and it's like, bro, you're a terrible person. What's happening? But,
right. I just think since it's family, I think you gotta just be on your brother's team on that one, or else you're not gonna go to Thanksgiving.
Well, you know what? I haven't been to a few Thanksgivings,
okay.
so I'm one of the people who would not give a shit.
Right? Yeah.
Like I would definitely.
You'd almost want to sabotage this relationship.
Well, listen, they killed my dog. All right,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're
well,
going.
I mean, you're like John Wick.
No.
Thanksgiving's gonna get bloody.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, confronting the person who's doing the infidelity, I'd be like, hey, listen, what's going on? You know, because that's shitty. I'm trying because my brain is thinking of like I feel like I know someone who went through that and like everyone got on them because they were like, I think you know what though, it's also different if the family likes the girl more than they like their own sibling or son. They're like, she's perfect and you're ruining her life.
Yes.
Oh my, like
Yes, but that's exactly why you tell him privately.
Yeah.
Because if you tell him and it blows up, then it's like, what? It's like, well, you could.
Well, I think the blow up seems like it would come if it's the last straw, and you're just trying to save this woman from a terrible situation. Because I don't know, some people, I don't know, people die over these things. Yeah. All right, Now we got another relationship one. This one says, my friend has a new girlfriend and she's out of his league. She's out of his league looks-wise. But she's a complete loser. She doesn't do anything all day and just makes him act like a servant. How do I bring this up to him? He seems really happy. I mean, I think this is the one where you have to step away because it sounds like he's a doormat and he's got to grow up and figure it out for himself. Unless you don't like seeing the treatment that he's going through, and maybe
sounds like you're jealous.
I am
that
jealous.
Your friend, not you personally.
No, I'm just kidding.
It sounds like you're jealous that your friend is dating a hot chick.
There's that.
And hot chicks, sometimes you got to be nicer to them than you got to treat a 9 nicer than you treat a 3. I mean, that's just
that's what the 50s. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's the 50. Hey, Joe Bartnick, goddammit. Joe Bartnick, everybody.
This is the truth.
I do not condone anything Joe Bartnick says. He has his own way to go.
This is gonna be a thing at the bottom.
Listen,
I
got a few more years before I get canceled. Shit, that's hilarious. But no, yeah, you're hearing him say, yeah, she's out of his league. That's a weird thing to say as your friend.
Right. I would never say that about my friend. I'd be like, he's got some game. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
You're friends.
Yeah, but so she's hot. He's not. But she's a loser because she doesn't do anything, and he is at her beck and call. I'm just confused on why you're so involved in this. But yeah, but if you do, well, I do think if you think she's mistreating him, you can tell him and he might not take it because if he's in love, that's a thing. Like I've been in my own situation like that where I've had people be like, "Hey, I don't like the way she treats you, man." And I'm like, "Hey, man, mind your fucking business."
No, it's not. No, 1,000%.
Yeah.
If she's really treating him terribly in public or something like that,
I don't know, but
like you don't have to take this, dude. What are you doing?
the caveat though is that he seems really happy.
There you.
If he seems happy, because and yeah, to me it's like if they like it, I love it. If that's their life, they're allowed to.
Yeah.
No one's being hurt. He sounds like a simp who pulled a 10, and who knows why she likes him. Hopefully it's for him. If it's not, I don't know. Not really my business. But yeah, this is very much like a not my business, and I'm sorry that you're not able to get with hot girls like that, because that's what it sounds like. She's out of his leagues looks wise. That's how I'm reading it.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird.
It sounds like it should be the other way around. It sounds like it should be a girl writing in about a guy.
Maybe. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. I don't know.
That sounds like such a chick thing to say. My friend,
The 50s. Da, 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 da. Joe. All right.
It's like point counterpoint.
Only women get jealous. Shout out to Joe Bartnick.
No, well, the thing was like I was born 1969, and my grandfather raised me, and he was always in bars.
There it is.
In the 60s and 70s in Pittsburgh. So it's like ever since I've been this big, I've been in bars in Pittsburgh in the 70s. So my whole life was like that level.
It's the granddad. I only say that because my dad was born in 1942, and his description of life from what he experienced as a young man to what I was experiencing, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it's like he's from Detroit, and he was the way he thought I would, because he was a person in the sense of like whatever you call it. He was a comedian, also out there in the world, an actor. Right. I was like, for the love of God, never say this on camera. Because some of the shit he would say, I was just like, Dad, you can think and feel that way. You got tickets to sell next weekend. We can't. Like, I don't give a damn about them bitches. Like, he would just start saying shit like wild stuff like that. But people didn't care because he had like the entertainment old man charm.
Right.
It was like, oh, my crazy uncle's just talking.
Well, that's kind of like my act.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I get away with stuff.
Yeah, I hear it.
Because they know it all comes from love. Like,
no,
I'm not,
of course. You don't feel any particular way about it.
No, that's just the way it's just the way I was raised. And then one thing I did get from that perspective was like being a little kid this big in bars in Pittsburgh all through the 70s. I have a really quick judge of people. Like, I can judge people real good because when you're this big in Pittsburgh in the bars in the 70s, you can like judge people really good.
Well, yeah, and kids are like truth magnets or whatever you call it.
Right.
They're very much like they clock it immediately.
Yeah,
and
if
see
someone has bad energy, I can feel it like immediately.
Bad energy, you're lying to them. You don't care about what they're thinking. They're just like they'll call you out immediately. They're like,
yeah.
There's no repercussions. I'm a child. I remember working with kids, and that's why I say that. And man, there's no filter. There's just how I feel, what I think, and what is there a problem? Like, they're just like, what do you mean? I can't say things like this? And I'm like, you'll learn. I mean, not that you can't, because I think that's great that you have that kids and just that thought process of having the freedom to feel and think how you want to, for sure. But, obviously, if you're maybe learning things that come from a harmful place, or you like start thinking about stuff that is maybe super untrue, or maybe it's from someone else's passed down generational thoughts and processes on you, then it's like, oh, well, you don't even really think that for yourself. You just really, there was someone that you admired who thought this way, and now you're maybe you're a great person. You could be crazy.
Yeah. I am politically incorrect, but I'm not like, I'm gonna say in the wrong. I'm just politically incorrect. I don't come from a place of like hate or a place of any.
No, there shouldn't be like heavy weight to the.
No, I just like fucking around.
You're being silly anyway. Yeah. No, now if you like, obviously, it's very easy to. Well, for some people who have social cues, it's easy to understand when someone is joking and not joking. There's some people who can't wrap their head around it.
No, Shane Gillis's monologue at ESPYs. I thought it was hilarious. Like, you don't get the jokes, like they were hilarious.
No, I thought they were good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Like how no one knows anyone in the WNBA. That was hilarious.
That was a funny joke, and it was a funny joke, but also like almost a accountability check on society. And I think society doesn't want to deal with that from the perspective of like, no, we know WNBA. And it's like, listen. even like I remember Lisa Leslie being like the pinnacle of my
Right.
WNBA knowledge up until like literally the last 2, 12, maybe 10, maybe last 5 years. Like, you know, Caitlin Clark obviously has taken it an Angel Reese
Right.
to another level, like a Magic and Bird situation. But maybe anything in the last 15 years, I'm like, oh, I know there's girls who are hooping really well, but like even their company doesn't promote them well enough.
Well, like we know, like Cheryl Swoop,
Cheryl
know,
Swoop.
like Cheryl Miller, like 5 of their names.
Yeah, yeah. And, but also, I'm like, you can't blame that on the consumer because what are you doing with the product? You should be putting it out there more, and the product.
Boy, it can't be put out anymore.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you went Sports Center, it's like an hour and a half. It's
no,
like,
for sure.
They had a guy on there breaking it down. I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah. Well,
we're 10 days away from camp.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, we're in a different.
I don't care who's in the women's All-Star game. They're blocking and tackling in 10 days at Latrobe.
The 50s. Bang. There it is. There it is, baby. It's growing up in a bar in Pittsburgh. That's how it goes. All right, we got this one.
Oh, that was my parenting, Cause,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it just made me think of it. No, because, my daughter was, before she took karate and all this stuff, she was getting a little bullied. A guy friend of hers at the time stood up for her. But I told my daughter, I go, just take the kid and throw him down the stairs. They'll never bother you again. And my wife is like, it's not the south side of Pittsburgh in the 70s. I'm like, yes, but it is. It's still like way in life. And and my therapist backed me on that.
Well, life is still life, and if someone's bullying you, you don't want it to go farther than what it should.
Right.
I'm curious. How does your daughter feel about the way the silly stuff you say? Obviously, you don't have any malice, but when she hears you say stuff like that, she's like, "Yeah, Dad."
Because imagine, my daughter went to arts, went to what's it called?
Art school in California.
Art school in California. Yeah, CS Arts in musical theater. And now goes to Berkeley. Mm-hmm. So, of course, she's a little more leaning. I'm not like a right wing guy, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But, she just rolls her eyes. But she knows I'm pro all the causes. You know what I mean? But, yeah, she just rolls her eyes. But the one thing was funny is I actually do it in my act. When I do like an hour, one day she brushed the dog's teeth. I go, what toothbrush did you use? She goes, the purple one. I'm like, that's mine. She goes, those are for all the jokes.
Oh, that's funny. All right, listen, we've got another that says, I'm going to a music festival soon, and I want to take mushrooms, but I'm a little nervous. What should I do? I feel like this is right up your alley. Have you ever done mushrooms?
Yes.
Let's learn about them.
Actually, I'm actually a little. I'm not pro mushrooms. I'd rather just take regular LSD.
There we go. There we go.
To me, mushrooms take you to the airport. LSD puts you on the plane.
Fucking right.
You go somewhere. Like have a friend that's done them before.
Okay.
And be with you as like your Sherpa going up the mountain, and have a lot of water and have a lot of stimulus because you don't want to be in your head. And if you're drinking, don't really drink booze. And if you have like you're going through your breakup or you got to move or you got if you have some heavy thing on your mind, don't take them.
There are so many rules to psychedelics.
I just gave the 5 best pieces of advice.
You literally did. Yeah, these are the top 5. These are Joe's top 5 psychedelics like treatments.
Bing. Yeah, because literally I've taken a lot of hallucinogenics.
Right. I was gonna say. In that sense, because mushrooms seem like small pickings. Like, all right, cool. You want to take mushrooms before a concert?
They're
cool.
kind of they're kind of like strong ecstasy in a way, or like the highest you get on mushrooms is almost as high as you can get on like really really good weed they have today.
Right.
It's like you don't trip. I mean, you can kind of trip, but not really. Not where you're like in a different dimension and. Like, you're hanging out with Jesus Christ and Jimi Hendrix and Julia Child's cooking dinner.
Some people say it's just like more relaxes you, I think, to a certain degree.
Well, you can see the trails and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You kind of get swirly and you can kind of trip a little bit, but it's all kind of like it's like a Fisher-Price tripping.
Fisher-Price tripping's funny. Do you remember the first time you ever took anything or like what it was or like I don't know, did you do weed as a kid?
I smoked a ton of weed. But the first time you really smoke, there's like
weed where
there was
I'm
like Pittsburgh. You grew up in California, you smoked weed. I was in Pittsburgh, you're just getting a headache.
Oh, okay.
You get California weed, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of get a little buzzed. The first time I ever really got messed up, I went to my buddy's friend, his place in college, and I got like I'm gonna jump off the roof, Jesus Christ!
Oh wow,
like I was like, yeah, first I got really high, but yeah, it was fun.
Was that LSD or were you?
No, that was like really good. First I had like real weed, like real weed. Yeah, no tripping. I've probably tripped like 100 times. LSD. I don't count the other stuff. I probably only had like 2 bad trips.
Okay.
But they were bad.
Yeah. I believe it. You seem to be a very experimental, old school dude.
Hey, you only come around once, so let's go have a good time.
This is true. I'm the exact opposite. I never got into I didn't get into weed till I was 30. And that's only 7 years ago. I'm just like and I'm not like a straight edge dude. It's more like I guess if I really was looking for it, I could have asked around, but I didn't. I was always like a guy where I'm like, what? My friends are doing drugs? Like that's how I felt about it. Like,
right.
my wife, we talked about it because she's like, yeah, like you grew up in California and went to private school. You didn't know where to find it. And I'm like, I guess I could have asked. She's like, all your friends probably were doing cocaine by like 18. And I'm like, cocaine? Like,
right.
Yeah, in my brain, I'm just like, I can't, I would never. Like, that's how my brain feels about it. But, yeah, and even to this day, I think like I've only had weed. That's it. I've had weed. I've been around people who have done other things.
Sure.
And I guess you know what it is.
Right in this room.
Yeah, there you go. I think it was just maybe the upbringing of. It's not like it was ever hammered into me not to do stuff. I think it's just like. Maybe it was just. I think it was weird because I know my mom would always say, because she's done stuff, my dad's done stuff, and my mom would do like the corny thing of like, if you want to do it, come to the house, we'll do it together. Right. And I'm like weirdo, nobody wants to get high with you. Yeah. And then I remember my dad, I think one or a few times where he told me about doing any type of drugs. He always gets embarrassed, I think, or he did, because he was like, oh yeah, I guess I did some cocaine back in the day. He's like, I had a crazy bitch chase me through the airport one time over some cocaine. I was like, or he would tell me about doing it with people at the store.
Right.
Because he came up with like Pryor and all these other guys. And actually, he had it's not even that funny, but it's hilarious actually. He had a story with him and Robin Williams, because Robin Williams did a lot of cocaine. Yeah. And it was one of them things where like Robin, if you let him borrow some cocaine, he would just take all of it. And my dad, I think one time he said Robin asked him for a little hit of some coke he had in like a little pouch or something, and then he gave it to Robin, and Robin gave it back. And he was like, "Damn, Robin, I told you could have a little coke. I didn't know you were a Hoover vacuum cleaner." And I'm like, now mind you, that's hilarious, but also I remember like fans of Robin Williams who come up around my generation have no idea that's who Robin Williams was.
Oh, he's Mork.
No, he's not even more committed. He's a genie from Aladdin.
Oh,
so it's like you're ruining kids' childhoods by saying that like someone I watched in these movies and films who I idolized was a cokehead. Oh,
right.
That's insane. But I'm not here to say that's what he was. I'm trying to say my dad, who was around him, who was friends with him, said that they had some situations. I guess.
It's kind of funny because like from Pittsburgh, and I'm Italian. Like everyone drank, so drinking was not like, it's kind of cool because it was demystified. It was like I had to go to college and drank. It's like we had wine, dinner. It's like your grandpa, yeah, you want a beer? It's like not a big deal. But so that was kind of demystified. But what's funny is my daughters kind of. You remember how like on Family Ties, the 2 parents were like hippies. And then the kids were like conservative. Yeah. Like my daughter, she'll have a drink. Mm-hmm. She'll have some beers, but she's not like, and she's real quiet. She has like 2 loud, obnoxious parents. Mm-hmm. It's almost like your parents, did some drugs and you're like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the inverse.
Yeah. There is an inverse to it. Like some of it I'm just like, I can't even wrap my head around doing that. Because I guess to me it was very much like, this is bad and no is no and wrong. This I wouldn't do this because there's no benefit in my brain to to have it, and like worst case scenario I could die. That's not fun. Like I think in the sense of just drug use, because I have friends who have like died off of certain.
That's my teaching moment with my daughter when she went to college. Mm-hmm. I'm like drink all you want, smoke all you want. I go, don't take any pills and don't put anything in your nose. I go, people die. Yeah, friends of mine die.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It really, really is. But it's weird. I haven't smoked pot in a year and a half. Not even gummies, nothing.
There you go.
I feel so much sharper.
Yeah. There's definitely like when you do it, there's such a almost like a brain fog, loosey goosey feeling to it, which feels good in the moment, and it doesn't feel bad later. It's like a grogginess almost to it.
Well, what was interesting for me was like I wasn't smoking all the time. After 30 years smoking all the time, I was smoking like maybe once or twice a week, and I would feel depressed like 2 days later. And I finally figured out, like not like depressed, like I'm gonna kill but like just kind of like, And I figured out, I think it was like the weed in my system was like, well, I'm not high anymore. I'm just kind of sluggish. And then when I got rid of that, I'm like, I'm kind of just happier, just
chilling.
And now I've had chances since then to like, but just, if I'm not going to do it with AC/DC and my good friends.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to do it. I haven't got there hasn't been the time yet because I just don't feel like getting back into it again.
Well, it's funny because I've had it in the past, like just to, in my opinion, it was like to wind down and kind of relax.
Right.
But in the more recent years, it's I'm not going to say it makes me anxious. It makes me overthink my life sometimes. And like sometimes I'll like, if I have some, I'll watch like myself because I'm like editing it late at night, like videos or stand up or something. And I'll start like questioning why I'm a comedian. I'll turn into the people who talk about, oh, I could never do stand up. I start talking to myself like, wow, you like get up there and talk to people and make them laugh. That's crazy. Like my weed brain is like, woo, that's scary, man. That's crazy. And then I'm like, I shouldn't fucking do this. I got a set tomorrow. Like it's like messing with my head.
Or if you're in public, then you get that weird, like you're not talking and you're just like a wallflower.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're just like, why did I even come if I'm just going to sit there and be like, worry about what I'm going to say?
I've never built enough of a tolerance to be in public with it. Like maybe very casually I'll split a gummy with my wife or have a gummy before we go to like maybe like an outdoor event, like a fair. I think we've gone to like the OC fair once or twice and took a gummy, and it's like, oh shit, it's crazy out here.
Right.
But no, but like in public, like I don't know people who are like functioning like weed heads. Like to me, that's tough to go on stage and perform either drunk or high. I can't get my jokes out.
Yeah. Well, the worst for me is caffeine. If I have too much coffee, I'll start talking too fast. Yeah. And then you look nervous, or your timing is off.
Yeah. I don't. Because
I talk slow on stage. It's even funny because one of the club owners in New York is all like, "You talk really slow." but I had to knock on wood. I had a really good set. Like I do well in New York, knock on wood. But I do talk slower than everybody in New York.
I like, in the sense of stand up. Now that we're just talking about that, I feel like when I do my sets, I'm like, you can go slower. That's how I feel, because I feel like I'm trying to rush to a laugh sometimes. Or maybe it's just the time constraint of performing, and there's some where I'm like...
That's my mother's advice before every podcast, television show, stand-up said, talk slow, make sure they can hear you.
That's funny. That's funny. I think this is our last one.
Uh-oh.
Let's knock it out. Here we go. We got this one saying, I'm on track to graduate from college a semester early, but I want to walk the stage with my friends. My parents are arguing with me about the finances of it all. I feel like it's a core experience that I need to have, but I also know college is expensive. Okay, so you're a student who is getting out of college early, but you want to walk the stage of college with your friends, and your parents don't want to pay for it because they just want you to walk right now. Get a job. Like that's
well, can't you just like walk when your friends walk, even with your degree?
Maybe. Isn't that a thing? Can't you defer to when you want to walk?
Yeah, like say you graduate in December, you can walk in June, I would think.
Maybe. If that's the case, then we've solved their problem. Look at that.
It's one of the things you probably just have to ask.
I don't think I ever knew that. I assumed that like if you were graduating, it's like get your ass up there, get this diploma, shake that thing on that tally hassle on your hat, and throw it in the air.
I didn't do that in college.
Did you graduate college?
I did.
Oh, good for you. I didn't.
I did. Yeah. It took like 7 years.
Yeah, hey.
I went to Point Park College, which is like high school with cigarettes.
12 year student.
Yeah. I had a glorious year and a half at Pitt, with my roommate Yeah, I remember high school. I was in a cast.
Mm. Like your body was in a cast?
No, yeah, well, my leg was in a cast.
Okay.
Because I broke my toe playing basketball, but then I was in the school play, so I had to walk on a broken toe, which ended up me breaking more.
Wait, they put your whole leg in a cast just for one toe?
No, because I ended up spraining my ankle and breaking like 3 more things. Like, I was like walking crooked.
But now you got Adidas.
I know.
Sponsor, goddamn it!
Nice.
No,
I mean, look at the shoes. No, so that was a tough. It was kind of cool for graduation parties because I didn't have to drive, so I could drink. But it was kind of tough with the like limp, being in a cast for like your whole senior last couple months.
Are you in any kind of contact or close with the people you kind of went to high school, college, any of that stuff with? Or
well, it's funny thing you should ask because like 4 or 5 of my friends from high school came to see me last time I was at the Pittsburgh Improv.
That's cool.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, they usually come once a year. So that's fun. College, I'm friends with like 1 or 2 of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really it.
I'm like a person where to me those are seasons in my life, and I'm like not against communicating with those people if they still want to stay in contact, but there's no like, it's weird. I have friends who are like very nostalgic for their elementary school, middle school, high school, college days in the sense of like, oh yeah, I talk to them all the time still. I'm like, bro, that was like, those were just 4 years of my life. Like, I experienced them. They were fun, and now I'm in a different space. Not that I won't communicate with these people, more that like if anybody ever asks me like, hey, you want to go to the alumni game, it's happening, I'm like, no, I don't give a shit about a fucking alumni game. But that's just me.
But that's weird though, because you live in LA, so you see them at Safeway or something like.
So okay, you know what, there you go. And also Safeway's not in LA. That you would say Ralph's, I guess. Ralph's is like the West Coast version of that.
Oh,
maybe.
Ralph's, I know.
Safeway I think is East Coast, Midwest?
Oh, no. Ralph's is Vaughn's.
Ralph's. We got Vaughn's.
Vaughn's is Safeway.
We got Vaughn's.
Vaughn's is Safeway. Kroger is Ralph's.
Oh, okay, there you go. Ralph's, Vaughn's, Kroger, or excuse me, Ralph's, Vaughn's, Gelson's. I'm thinking of what we have out here. Sprouts now.
I can't afford a Gelson's.
Gelson's was fancy back in the day.
Oh, it's totally
Gelson's was like the original Whole Foods low-key.
Absolutely.
Or maybe, no, I don't think it was the original.
Especially the one by Birds. That one's like, that was that was expensive.
Yeah, no. But no, I've got like but you know what? I think it's just the difference in how some people have their memories or friend groups tied to certain times in their life. Like I got a friend of mine who basketball was really important for him. So it's like every basketball, whether it was like a team or a summer league team or something, he built friendships. So I think a lot of those friendships stem from those younger years. And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I played basketball with people, but I wasn't in like a crew or something. Like and I think I got better at basketball after high school. So it was like, I didn't have like, if anything, I still have like a core friend group from my childhood, but it's pretty tiny. And then everybody else, it's just like, oh, we follow each other on like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Or some of them are producers now, so I'll like send DMs like, hey,
yeah.
Oh, you work at Amazon now? What?
Oh, that's
crazy,
fantastic.
Bro. I sent an audition last week.
Yeah, like I mean, the best my friends could get me is like a good table at the casino.
That's so
in
cool.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, no, I've
in Pittsburgh though. That's not as cool, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
well, hey, no. No.
Oh, yeah. Just shit all over Pittsburgh. I'm fine. No.
That's a great city. No, I mean, because when I'm home, I'll see people like just, like my old neighbors. When actually, no, everyone moved out but my mom and dad of the old neighborhood. So it's all like new little kids and stuff. But no, like I said, like in Pittsburgh, if I run into somebody, that'd be great.
That's true. I forget. You're coming to LA from a different smaller town city, and you know what? Just like you mentioned, yeah, I'm from here. That is what it is. There is like a quadrant of LA where all the people I know from that time have never left. So for sure, it very much feels like high school. Like even, but LA and California is so big, you can go move like all the way to Alhambra, and it feels like you're in a completely different state to a certain
It takes
degree.
an hour and 35 minutes from here.
There you go.
I was there yesterday. With 2 crashes, it kept going up. I had to go get this doctor, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They almost wouldn't let me in. I'm like, you don't understand. I have to see you today. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I really begged for my life. I was like going to the death row. I like begged for my life.
What was it for?
To get like my new girlfriend wants my cholesterol number.
Oh,
so I had to go get the cholesterol to get the how the doctor has to sign the cholesterol test.
Yeah,
she wants me to live.
Well, that's true. You should. I want you to live. I want to look back at this. I want to look back at
You're
this.
like this old man.
I want to look back at this.
He lived another 10 years after this podcast.
Just you gotta cholesterol, walk and drink water and less alcohol. I guess that's usually how it goes.
Well,
I don't know.
well, it's like, I used to eat like 10 eggs a day. And my doctor Iowata, great guy, do a dead on him. Why are you a growing boy? Why do you eat 10 eggs a day? The best was I said one time my cholesterol was 420.
That's crazy.
It's supposed to be like less. It's supposed to be between 150 to 200.
Right.
So it was funny because I actually I tried out for a life insurance, and I thought that I had. And I saw the number, and I guess I read the form wrong. But I go to Dr. Iowata. I go, Doc, my cholesterol is like 195 now. And he goes, how do you know that? And I go, oh, I got a life insurance policy. And he goes, dead on. He goes, someone gave you a life insurance policy?
That's funny.
And actually, I was rejected.
That's crazy.
So nobody did.
There you go. No, I know. I know what's his name has changed because you know Craig Robinson, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Craig has in the last few years like lost crazy weight and whatnot, and has started doing fitness and stuff. I remember him telling me it was because he had a girlfriend who just basically kind of said, "Hey, I don't want to be with you. You're not gonna take care of yourself." And I remember him like kind of putting down alcohol for water. He's crazy trim now, like in the sense of just
he's in shape.
or just even in the face. It wasn't even like fitness. I think it was like I just remember him saying like, "Oh yeah, I just don't drink that much anymore." And I was like, "Well, good for you, man."
I don't even drink nearly as much as I used to at all, and I work out. I'm pretty healthy. She's like, I like to eat my gabagool, and I like to eat.
What is gabagool?
It's I like the spicy version. It's capicola, but Americans call it gabagool, or American Italians call it gabagool.
What is it? What's in it?
Oh, it's a lunch meat. Or, it's
what
like a
lunch
deli
meat? I never heard of it.
You never heard of that?
Never.
You never heard of capicola? There's like salami.
Oh, capicola is it? Oh, kind of like almost pastrami type of capicola.
No, it's an Italian meat.
Okay.
It's kind of like
is it on the list of meats when I'm trying to order something?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I never.
It's probably in your Italian special. You don't even know.
I believe that.
If you order the Italian special, it's probably in there. You don't even know.
Less gabagool, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, I think we're at the end. Oh my goodness, Joe, thank you. This was fun, man.
Oh, I hope you had fun.
Yeah, this was fun. You're a silly dude. You're a silly dude, and every time
crazy old man.
Crazy old. You're not even that old, but listen.
Thank you. I look good. I won't even say my age because we're in Hollywood.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Just somebody slap the 50s all over this episode, or put this whole episode in black and white. I guess I don't know. All right, thank you so much for watching Licensed Advice, and send us questions, y'all, for next episode, and follow Joe Bartnick. With Joe, tell him anything about your life and what you got going on.
Okay, when does this come out?
Sooner than later.
I'm in Boca Raton the first week or maybe the second week in August. Then I'm in Boston. I'm in New Jersey. I'm everywhere.
There you go.
I'm Joe Bartnick, except on Instagram. I'm Mr. Joe Bartnick because I was hacked 2 ways from Sunday.
There you go. Get tickets at Joe Bartnick's website, which would
just go to the venues.
Go to the venues.
My website's not as
just fine. Type in. There's no one else named Joe Bartnick in the world. I promise you, unless it's a
there's
family.
No one that looks like this.
Unless it's a American Dad or Family Guy character. Like there's no one else. All right, that's it. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. This is fun. So much fun.